we have definitely, our abuse rates are down, our sexual abuse rates are down. You know, we're doing the work that we were supposed to do. We really looked at root causes, and we looked at like a ecological map, you know, self, community, state. What does that look like, and how can it all work together? And I think that sometimes people forget your different programs can work together.
Welcome. This is great. You know what I think of this program. I think it's one of the best things we have going in the county, and we'll talk some of the things that I've observed and that I know you do, but tell me a little bit about what it is. Remind people. So the Franklin County Children's Task Force was incorporated in 1978. We have morphed significantly. I personally am the executive director, Renee Whitley. I've been there for 23 years. When I started, we had 3 full-time employees and 3 part-time employees and an operating budget of about $300,000. Fast forward, and we've grown and exploded, really. We have programming in the schools, after school, summer programs, we have home visiting, we have education, support, we have 2-gen, whole family approaches. We're really kind of looking at supporting families prenatally all the way until they're 18. Wow. And I remember when serving in the Senate, you had the Purple Hat Day, or Purple Hat for babies.
Do you remember that?
I remember that. I remember we get Purple Hat. So what's your job with the Franklin?
I'm the Social Services Director for the Children's Task Force. So my role...
So tell everybody who you are, because we know who she is.
My name is Riley Blanchette. I'm the Social Services Director for the Franklin County Children's Task Force. And my role encompasses leading the Prevention Council and Maine Families Home Visiting programs. Our Prevention Council has parenting education, parent support. We have community trainings and professional trainings, community awareness like the Purple Hats, Click for Babies, and Child Abuse Prevention Month is April. We have a lot of different programs within the Prevention Council.
School-based. Did you say how many people are working there now?
We have about 65 total, full and part-time. Not all of them are housed in our very little building.
I was wondering, where are they going?
A lot of them work out in the community, in the schools, in our summer camps. You know, we even have some that are fully remote, that, you know, do our online stuff, online lessons, online curriculum for parent education, sort of eliminating those travel barriers. We try to do both. So if families, let's say, have childcare barriers, we might provide on-site childcare and classes.
An upcoming thing that we're doing is partnering with the local school districts to provide parenting education at the schools, and they're going to provide childcare for that.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the biggest stumbling blocks of this area is childcare. It's whether it's going to it needs to be a 2-income family, it can't, because one's got to stay home with the children.
Yeah.
So you're providing some opportunities for them to grow. Well, I know a little bit about Maine Families, so let's talk about the Maine Families program, and I'll put my little story into it. How you set me up.
You want me to set you up, and then I'm going to turn it over to Riley, and she'll explain more about what we do now. So Maine Families has been around since I came to the task force, and it is a home visiting program that is open to any parent. And early on, I called you, I think, one day when you were either driving to or from Augusta, and I said, I really need you to see this actual work as it's happening. And it's definitely morphed a lot, and I'll kind of turn that over to Riley, and she can talk about it. But
you want me to talk about my experience now?
Sure, you talk about your experience, and then Riley will talk about
So Renee calls me up and says, you need to see this. And I said, okay. And I'll just talk about the first family, because that's the one that did the job. I went to, I think she was a young lady, was 17, just had a baby. I think her parents had walked away from her, and her grandparents were the only ones she had a contact with. So you were able to go in and assess the child. I think I went with Mrs. McGrain. And she did her assessment and looked at how the child was developing. The child, I think, was about 12 months, 14, was just becoming mobile. I could crawl, I couldn't quite walk. And so I'm sitting on the floor, and all I know is the baby's crawling all over me. All over me. And I'm sitting, I'm trying to be careful because I hadn't been around a little child like that a long time, but kept going and hugging me and kissing me, and it's like, okay, I'm toast. I mean, I always supported that program anyway, but that was a story I could tell as you had challenges with funding or challenges with other things. This is one of the things that I observed, and we'll talk about the after-school program because that's one I still talk about.
Yeah.
But what have you changed since I did that?
So Maine Families, we still do child development screenings with families, but we really focus on setting family goals and looking at 3 different domains of family well-being in order to meet all of the needs of the family. So we look at parent-child interaction, family well-being, and also
Child development.
Child development. Sorry. What was that other one?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we do exactly what you were explaining there. We go into the families' homes at their frequency, like whenever they would like to go, whether that's weekly, monthly, bi-weekly. We can meet them at their home. We can meet them at a park. We can meet them at our office. We can even meet online to eliminate those travel barriers, like Renee was saying. And it's truly an incredible program. The families love it, and our visitors.
How does family get into that program?
A great question. So oftentimes families hear about it in their doctor's visits when they are going in prenatally, but families can also self-refer. We have a referral form right on our website that they can fill out.
And it's automated.
And it's automated. It goes right to my email immediately.
So let me think, while I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
what is your website? It's going to run right here.
Yes,
yes.
It's www.fcctf.org.
Okay, and that's going to be running right across. Can you see it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can
It's
see
right
it.
there.
Yeah.
And is there a phone number somebody can call?
Yeah, 207
207
778.
778
Nope, that's my cell phone. 6960.
6960.
Maybe we should do that again.
That's all right. So it's going to run right there,
Yeah.
and they certainly can call in that.
Yes.
That program is doing fantastic. How do you, if you go in and a child needs help, do you provide the resources or the suggestions for where they go?
Absolutely. We connect with a variety of different local resources. If we aren't able to meet the family's need, we connect them and do a soft handoff, warm handoff to a local agency where they can get some additional services or programming.
And that warm handoff can look like literally a warm handoff.
Yeah,
We'll walk with you into the building.
Wow.
We'll make a phone call with you. We will help set you up with transportation. We can help with, some of the tangibles that you might have, diapers, wipes, things like that. And if we can't, then we have community partners that also do that sort of thing, so we can refer them.
Yeah. And say a family needs to access the food pantry. We're able to partner with the food pantry to get those items, bring them to our office, and store them until we go to visit with the family.
Oh, wow. So you really have grown the program significantly.
Yeah. We've actually invested in a deep freezer, so we're able to get meats. We're able to get families fresh fruits and vegetables, and obviously the staples that go in the cupboard. But it's really that partnership has grown to include not just Maine Families, but also our 21st century kiddos that are there after school whose families might need support. They don't necessarily have to be part of Maine Families to get that support. We have other people that travel throughout the county for various things, and we try to really braid and streamline things so we're cost effective.
Wow. So does that help then dovetail in with the Prevention Council? So how does the Prevention Council, what is that?
Absolutely.
That's something I don't think you had when I was serving.
Yeah, we called it, back in the day, it was called the Child Abuse and Neglect Prevention Council, but now we are just known as the Prevention Councils.
So this helps you assess a family and then provide help if they need it with the prevention. What's the Prevention Council?
So the Prevention Council is more so our community-based approach to engaging with families, I would say. So we have our parenting education classes, we have our community trainings. We don't do assessments or screenings with that. We're really, with those, we do like a pre and a post assessment just to see if knowledge was gained at the training or class. But with with those, it's less of the screening.
Yeah, and I think that a piece of it that, just to help you understand, when we say community education, there are some very specific curriculums that were developed by the state of Maine for providers of early childhood or elementary education or middle school or high school population. Mandated reporting is probably one of the most frequented. We provide mandated reporter training in all of Franklin County.
So let's just stop there. Mandated reporting.
Yep.
So people understand what, I think I know what it is, but I think you should say
Do you
it.
want to explain it?
Yeah, sure. Mandated reporting is a training where you can gain insight onto how to be reporting any child abuse and neglect that is suspected. It doesn't necessarily have to be known to you. It's any suspected abuse, and gives you that training for identifying that. And the training, we get recertified every 4 years.
Wow. That's got to be pretty significant training.
Yeah, it is. And it's also, it helps community members and community partners identify indicators and risk factors. And like Riley said, though, we teach you how to make a appropriate report. It's not our job to decide whether or not abuse has happened. That falls at the state level with the Department of Health and Human Services. But we train and we partner with the early childhood program here at UMF. So we train almost every student that graduates in that program. We've trained. And we train childcare providers, Head Starts, things like that. So
Speaking of that, you're a UMF graduate, aren't
I sure am.
Yeah, go
Beavers,
Beavers, go
yeah.
Beavers today.
Absolutely.
I just remind people of that. One that grew up here, went to school here, and stayed here, which is great.
Yeah, and I actually started with the Children's Task Force doing childcare when I was 12.
I thought your mother had you taking the garbage out.
Well, that too. But yeah, I started as a child care facilitator when I was 12 through the task force during the parenting education classes, and then
with Deb McGrain.
With Deb McGrain. Yeah.
So what are some of the events you have coming up?
In April, on April 5th, we are doing a luau with my lady, which is a Hawaiian-themed dance, and it's really going to be run the same way as our father-daughter dances. Cool. It's an opportunity for moms and their sons to get together and come out and dance and dress in Hawaiian gear, and yeah, it's just like a good night of bonding.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That would be...
We are thrilled for that.
We are so excited. So excited.
Imagine. I could show up with my Hawaiian shirt.
There you go.
Yeah.
You could be the MC for the night.
No. I'd do anything you need me to do that, anyway. Yeah. So one of the programs that I am most impressed with, and that came on just as I was finishing my legislative extent, is your after-school program.
Yes.
And what struck me is similar to the first program that we talked about, is helping somebody, but kids go home and that's where problems occur.
Yep.
And somebody who's taking care of them that you think is safe is not safe. And the children now are changed for life.
Tom, I'm super impressed that you remember this from like 10 years ago.
Well, I got a few brain cells left, not many.
I tell you.
But it's a program that so impressed me when you did it, when you started it. You started it on a shoestring. And it was like just in one school, and it's grown exponentially.
Yes.
But it's so critical. And see how I can remember. You structure this too. They do their homework. They have recess. They do their homework. They have a snack, and they go home. How bad? How was that? Close?
Pretty close.
Somewhat. They might do a STEM activity or read books, or they always do. We have like different components we have to meet, but like prevention, literacy, STEM, things like that, physical activity. But yes, you're right. The program came about because 2015, Franklin County had the highest rates of child sexual abuse. And we went through a 18-month community needs assessment to find out why, what was going on. And what we found was that some parents did not have safe and appropriate care providers during the after-school hours. And so at that same time, we were rebranding our prevention council, and we said we could braid these two. We could make this a strategy of our prevention council with a separate funding source, of course, because you can't fund a huge after-school program. So we've grown from being in just SAD 9. That first year of SAD 9, we served about 120 kids. This year, we're set to serve between 320 and 350. We're in all 3 school districts, RSU 73, SAD 9, and SAD 58.
For those that don't know the numbers, SAD 58's Western Maine, if you will, Strong, Avon, Phillips.
Yeah.
SAD 9 is our local schools, Farmington, Wilton, and so forth.
Yep.
And SAD 73 is Livermore Falls, Livermore, and Jay.
Yes. Yep. So we have, between all 3 school districts, we have 8 schools that we're involved in, K to 8 or K to 5. Franklin, RSU 9 is K to 5 simply because of the numbers of kids. But we are K to 8 in the other 2 districts, and you can apply for your child to attend right on our website. We do have a wait list right now, a small wait list for RSU 9. However, we're still taking applications for 58 and 73.
Wow. So a typical day. So a child gets out of class or out of school at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
The
They
bus
walk
take-
to the program.
They walk because there is the program. So where is the program in, say, SAD 9?
So we're in Mallet School and Academy Hill School. And we have feeder schools. So Cascade Brook also feeds into Mallet, and Cushing School feeds into Academy Hill. So the kids walk from Cushing to Academy Hill. We have a facilitator that goes with them. And then the students that are picked up at Cascade Brook get bused down.
And do they get bused home after, or the parents have to pick
Parents
them
pick
them
up. That changed during COVID. We used to have a shuttle.
RSU 73, there's transportation.
Yeah, RSU 73 has transportation.
Each district is a little different in how they run, but all the same constructs.
And what's the head count? I mean, so you have that many students. How many facilitators are?
So we keep a 1 to 12 ratio, which is higher. I mean, it's not higher, but it's less kids,
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
more
I know what you mean.
facilitators. The ratio has to be at least 1 to 18. But we go 1 to 12 because I just feel like it allows more eyes on kids. And you're talking about a lot of kids.
So you go 5 days a week, 3 days a week?
4.
4 days a week.
Monday through Friday.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Monday through Thursday,
Yeah,
excuse me.
but they're 4 days up until
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah. Stop it. Yes, and so we run, each district is a little bit different depending on what time they get out of school, but we run usually, would you say 2:30?
2 hours a day.
Yeah, 2 to 2.5 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the big question, the metric we had in 2015, how are we doing?
Oh, we are way down there.
We are.
We are way low. Yeah, we have definitely, our abuse rates are down, our sexual abuse rates are down. You know, we're doing the work that we were supposed to do. We really looked at root causes, and we looked at like a ecological map, you know, self, community, state. What does that look like, and how can it all work together? And I think that sometimes people forget your different programs can work together
Yeah. Yeah.
and meet the objectives of those programs.
Yeah, so you broke down silos, as I call it, and it's got everybody, so it's in the same room trying to
Right.
work to the same objective.
Right. And we do have, if anybody's interested, we have the Franklin Advisory Group, which Franklin is an acronym.
Franklin stands for Friends Reducing Abuse and Neglect for Kids Living in Our Neighborhoods.
That's a mouthful. So
Yes.
we'll spell that out right here so that I can remember when we go down.
Yeah.
Andre
Yeah.
can pick it up and put it out there.
Yeah, so that's
wow.
our advisory board. That's comprised of local agencies and leaders in the community that would like to provide their input about
Yeah.
programming.
So are you involving UMF students in some of these programs?
Oh, yes, we have practicums and interns still. Actually, our intern last year got a job working for Maine Families in Southern Maine.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she was wonderful. We have really great luck because we have great professors here. You know, there are really good professors
Education
here.
program, super.
Yeah.
So the phone number again,
207
207
778
778
6960.
6960.
Yes.
And the website?
FCCTF.org.
And certainly there's a way to contact you through that. So as we get close to the end of the show, what would you like to close with? What would be the addition that you'd like to say?
I guess for me, what I would like to say is that we are always looking for families, parents, grandparents, providers who are interested in informing the processes that we're going through to ensure that we have a really good idea about what our community needs and wants.
I'm Drew Blanchette. I'm from the Franklin County Children's Task Force. I help with their Prevention Council and their 21st Century After School programs. It's a community dinner. We're hosting open to the community, any of our partners that we work with, just to bring awareness to different programs that we do at the task force, parent education, our parent leadership program, and resources that we offer. The community is basically the focal point of this because we're looking to get feedback from the people that are attending here today as part of a project we're doing to sort of map out the community and see what we have for resources in the community and what we wish to have to bring to the community and sort of the gaps that we can help with filling. I hope that we get a lot of really good ideas for planning in the future for different programs and how we can just better serve the community. So yeah, just hopefully a lot of good ideas and a lot of good conversations happening to connecting people with different things that can help them out.
This is great. You guys have done wonderful, but I always knew that. Yeah, you snookered me. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come out of retirement.
Thank you. I was going to say thank you for coming out of retirement.
Anytime you guys want to talk about this program, I'm more than willing to do it. It's a great program. You've been very successful, and the kids in Franklin County are you're making a difference in their lives.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.